submerged in water. And after that, we were getting ready for our reopening after Katrina, after much struggle. I called, well, that picture was painted by the Sheriff's Department, the art department of the Sheriff's organization. And I called them to ask them to come and touch it up, because I just felt I wanted everything touched up. But they no longer had an art department. And it didn't need any touching up. The gentleman that came out said it really doesn't need any touching up. So we were just amazed, and it was Dr. King's way of saying, welcome home. We did come back after about a year and a half, and we lost over about approximately 30 students and staff, and immediate family members during the storm. The Lower Ninth Ward was one of the heavily devastated. Of course, the Lower Ninth Ward is the one that's struggling. And something about that, we were talking about that yesterday. There's some type of where you put your priorities, because we're still struggling. And so therefore, this community, we have to fight for everything that we have. But from the generosity of you across the country, we were able to start because we actually had no money. Before Katrina, we were a traditional neighborhood school. But after Katrina, we found out that the whole environment changed, that the state took over the schools because they felt that schools were not doing, and they felt the teachers were not doing the job that they were supposed to do. And they felt that they wanted reform. However, they didn't know that reform is not on the backs of teachers. And reform is having an effective teacher in every class. So therefore, we didn't agree with them that schools were failing, that they failed us. We, of course, have been educating kids for a number of years, and we don't necessarily worry about school performance or the test. I do believe, and I think all of you believe, that if you do the best you can do every day, the kids are going to do well.
Okay.
They're going to do well, and we say to them every day that you're okay, that you may not measure up where some people want you to measure up, but as long as you're improving, and we are working with you, you're going to be fine. So that's what we've been doing. We've been educating African American students and making sure that they take their place in society, and making sure they know who they are, what they're about, and making sure that they remain focused, because it only takes a little to get them off track. So that's what we've been about. We stepped out on faith, and we've continued that. We've continued that. We have students who are very focused, students who know where they're going, and we're going to help them get there. So it's been a struggle after Katrina, but again, we're enjoying it. It's been really exciting for all of us. And we've come a long way. As I said, we're the only school in the Lower Ninth Ward, and we had to fight for this to reopen. But we weren't giving up. I mean, people want you to fight and then say, oh, I'm tired, so I'm going to abandon that. We've never abandoned it, and we've just continued what we started. So if you have any questions for me or any of the team, I asked Cora, one of our staff developer, to come in also, and I think you met Sylvia Ellison. We do have restrooms over here. This is the public library, however.
Oh, it is.
And we are a unique school. We have a public library.
That's
It
crazy.
opens about 10, and we have patrons from the city. The one in the back is the school's library. And at the end of the school day, of course, that becomes a public library. So that's our story.
That's cool.
Are there any questions?
Well, we have that. We just don't have it in our school. Like if I wanted to get a book from a different public library,
The
Well,
majority of
school,
our
I
students
could,
are from the
but we
Lord
just don't
Ninth
have the
Ward.
public library.
They've not moved back
in
all
the
of
school.
them. It's been a struggle with Road Home and others.
What do you think
But
about that?
we draw them
It
from
is.
the Lord Ninth Ward. But because we're a charter school, we go across the city.
It is.
Yes. And of course, community takes on a different definition now. So that's where we get our kids. And we have, let me tell you, before Katrina, we were pre-kindergarten through sixth. After Katrina, we had middle school. Well, we served time in middle school, let me say that. And now we've added high school. We actually did not venture to go to high school. We only wanted ninth grade because we felt our eighth graders were not socially ready. Academically, they were. And we knew that ninth grade, they had to be ready for the ninth grade. When we indicated to the state that we wanted to keep our eighth graders, they said, oh no, you got to do high school. And we said, wow, that's a stretch for us. But we did. And it's still a stretch, but we did. Our high school students are actually in the portables. When they're going to get out of the portables, I have no idea. Until we stop and start doing the things we did initially. To say to them, have you forgotten? They're in the portables. They've been in there. Well, we did our amendment. 2009, so they've been in the portables since then. Not new portables, portables we were able to get from Dillard University. However, they're there, and there's been no indication that they're going to come out, but they will.
So tell me, frame your struggle piece so much. Why is it that you have, is the political structure, is it this?
Oh, absolutely. Well, it was little of both. It was more political, that probably children of color did not really need a school. Right then, it wasn't a priority. There was not a sense of urgency for that. And that's what I felt. And I verbalized it. We did some deliberate things to say to them, we're going to show the world what you're about. And we did that. We did that on Washington Post, the New York Times, wherever. We saw that there was an audience, we sought it out. So we're very, very deliberate. So that struggle was, of course, we had one knockout with the Katrina, and we just felt that other schools across the city who did not have damage, they were coming up. And we said, well, wait a minute, now something's wrong with this. So actually, we looked at one map and it said that you were going to open maybe in 2011. Katrina happened in 2006. That wasn't good enough for us. Then one we saw where we weren't scheduled to open at all. So we said, now wait a minute. So we did. We gutted our own school. And they said, you gutted your own school with the help of 250 volunteers across the country. You're taking your time to gut us out. We're going to gut it. And we did. Of course, when we gutted it, they said, now we can't get your school back together because we don't know where the things belong. And we said, like hell, we can tell you. We lived here. You know where it belongs. If you have any doubt, ask us. When we came to gut the school, of course, we were met with police and whatever. But how can you put us in jail if we're gutting our own school? So we did that. Then they gave us a school that wasn't damaged by Katrina, but God was it in bad shape. And there were more rats than pencils or whatever. And I told the staff, well, it's not going to be a king, so we got to, just take lemons and make lemonade. But it wasn't. We could not do it. A couple of days before we were